Seid ihr bereit? Seid ihr bereit für den Tunnel? Den dunklen Tunnel von Everlasting Summer, in den wir nur mit einer Taschenlampe und Lena bewaffnet nun fortschreiten. Wenn ihr zu viel Angst habt, dann macht schon mal alle Lichter an bei euch. Lena walked next to me, holding my hand. The silence of the dungeon was interrupted only by the sound of our steps and water dripping from the ceiling. We moved forward slowly, maybe too slow. I suddenly felt a surge of claustrophobia. I gritted my teeth and squeezed my torch, but loosened my grip at once, fearful of breaking our only source of light. Lena kept silent, and her silence seemed louder than any words. I started to fear. Say something. Door. What? There's a door. She pointed forward. We came to a massive metal door with a biohazard sign. Das ist aber nicht Biohazard, sondern Atomwarnung. Looks like a bomb shelter.
Yes, I'd heard something about it.
Oh, why is it here?
I have no idea. Maybe because of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Cuban? I estimated the approximate time of constructing the camp makes sense. However, building a bomb shelter here was like building an airport at Faggot in Northumberland or Leckhack in Wiltshire in the UK. Ich nehme an, das macht mehr Sinn, wenn man sich in den jeweiligen Gebieten auskennt. It wasn't deep enough and too far from civilization. The door wheel dully creaked. I had to push it with all my strength before it turned a couple of times. I made up my mind and opened the door with difficulty. We entered the room, which seemed to be the main living quarters. There were some beds, cases, some scientific equipment. They had been thoroughly prepared for a nuclear apocalypse. We didn't find any signs of shuriken there, though.
Look.
Lena was holding a flare gun and smiling. Why would I need it?
To fight monsters.
Logisch. There are no monsters here. At least I wanted to believe that.
If you say so.
Nimm die Knarre mit. I guarantee it. I didn't want to upset her, so I tucked the flare gun into my belt. It might come in handy. Oh, das ist auch neu. We thoroughly searched the room once again. There were two exits. The first was the door we had entered, and the other one was another door exactly the same in the left wall. For a moment, I felt excitement, the urge to reach the end of this labyrinth and to learn what prize awaited me there. However, this surely wasn't a computer game, and there's no option to save. Kleiner Gag am Rande.
Maybe with this?
Lena offered me a rather big crowbar. Die hat doch jetzt schon alles durchsucht. No, I'll give it a try without it first. However, the door didn't want to budge. It only creaked nastily, and the door wheel didn't turn a millimeter. Okay, give it to me. It was too easy with the crowbar. Whoa! In the end, the obstacle collapsed, hitting the floor loudly. Wow, es hat sich wirklich fast im Bild verändert. Das ist ja ganz neu. The hinges were rusted completely through. I pointed the flashlight into the passageway. There was a corridor just like the one we had come in here through.
Let's go?
It was like Lena was constantly driving me on. Where are you rushing to?
Me? I'm not.
She blushed in confusion. Again, what should I make of her? First, she doesn't fear a thing, then she get lost afterward. You look like you don't fear anything.
I don't know. What should I fear? You will protect me anyway, 'cause I am a helpless damsel in distress.
She added barely audibly. So Lena is counting on me. She believes in me no matter what. It's possible. Stupid, naive, but possible. I knew clearly that I couldn't protect anyone, even myself. Nothing is up to me in this world. The powers that brought me here could do anything. That didn't exactly mean that inevitable death awaited me in the end of the tunnel. It could be lying in wait anywhere in this camp. Let's go. I tried to walk faster, but Lena seemed to not be bothered by that, and she easily kept pace with me. This corridor was exactly the same as the previous one. In every last detail. Es kommt, wie ihr das im Bild genommen habt. There was nothing shocking about it, but at some point I got the feeling that we were walking in circles. The flashlight in my hand started to tremble visibly. The spot of light jumped all over the walls and the floor, and suddenly it lit up a rather big hole. The hole wasn't too deep down below, and nochmal. The hole wasn't too deep, and down below we could see rails.
What's down there?
Looks like a mine.
Shall we have a look?
Why not go further along the corridor?
I don't know. I think we should go down there.
I estimated the height. It would be possible to pull ourselves out. Okay, let's check it out.
Check it out now.
I jumped down the hole and helped Lena to get down. It really was a mine. I wonder what they could have mined here. What minerals are there in this area?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, stupid question. Looks like there are none now. We headed into the darkness. It was hard to walk because I couldn't choose where I trod, wobbly wooden planks or uneven ground. It wasn't able to stick closer to the walls either. The narrowness of the tunnel forced us to stay between the rails, and I didn't want to let go of Lena's hands. Finally, we reached a fork. Just great.
Where should we go?
Well, I'm not certain that we'll be able to get out of here at all, especially if we are going to play Pac-Man.
Play what?
Never mind, we'll get lost.
What if there's an exit too?
There may be one, and what if there isn't?
So we should go back?
I bit my lip till it bled and yelled as loud as I could. Shurik! The loud echo rebounded from every direction at once. Saul even fell from the ceiling in some places. See?
See. Then I will go on alone.
Genau, Lina, nimm's in die Hand hier. What? I grinned stupidly. Alone? Where to?
We must find Shurik. He may be...
Lina blushed at once and stared at the ground. No, that won't do. If we go together.
Okay, then let's go.
She smiled and took my hand. How does she manage that? But first we should... I took a sharp stone from the ground and scratched a cross on one of the beams which supported the walls. Now we will know where we started. So, ich weiß nicht mehr, wie rum ich letztes Mal gegangen bin, aber ich habe mal gelernt, in einem Labyrinth musst du immer zu einer Seite gehen. Wir gehen einfach jetzt immer nach rechts, weil ich einfach Rechtshänder bin. It seems like there's another fork in the road. Wir gehen immer rechts, so finden wir zurück. Noch eine Kreuzung. Oh, was ist das? Finally, the tunnel had led us into a hall with a high ceiling. Although it hardly could be called a hall, it seemed something was mined here. Maybe coal or gold. The walls had been cut by pickaxes or pneumatic drills. This place was pitch black, so our only salvation was the flashlight. If it breaks, it's unlikely we ever get out of here. I noticed a red piece of cloth in its light. It was a pioneer neckerchief. Shurik was obviously here somewhere. Shurik! 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 Only echoes answered us. Shurik! 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 He must not be too far away, since we found the scarf here. Frankly speaking, I was mostly wondering where here actually was. Where could he have gone from here? Where do we go from here? There were no other exits from this room. Certainly it was possible that there were other places in these tunnels we hadn't visited yet. That means we have to keep searching for him. It seems there's another fork in the road. Das ist jetzt unfair, weil ich jetzt überhaupt nicht weiß, wie weit wir zurückgegangen sind. Wir gehen erstmal wieder komplett nach links. Und gucken mal, wo uns das hinbringt. Moment. Ja, we return to the place where we had begun. Wrong turn ist ja nicht. Da wollte ich ja hin. Let's keep on searching. Okay, jetzt gehen wir immer links. Gehen wir nochmal links. Aha. We came to some kind of miners' camp. Pigs and helmets everywhere. A rusty wagon stood in the corner. All the items were so old, they dated from the beginning of the 20th century rather than the middle. So this is really a mine. Nein, wirklich. Which meant we could wander around here for ages without finding a way out. But I sensed that exit was somewhere nearby, and so we went further. Natürlich gehen wir nach links. Und wir gehen wieder nach links. Sag mal, wollt ihr mich veralbern? Ja. Oh, das hat wirklich geholfen. Around the next turn, a wooden door appeared in the light. At least it's something. What? At least it's not another fork. Genau.
What's in there?
We don't have any choice but to check it out. I strongly pulled the handle and opened the door. There was a room behind it, which might be one of the maintenance rooms from the bomb shelter. Empty bottles and cigarette butts were scattered everywhere. The walls were all covered with scribbles. So that means there is another exit from here. I didn't want to believe that the people who had left all that had come the same way as we did. Sadly, Shurik wasn't here. Oh. I slid down the wall to the floor. We must have been everywhere now.
Not everywhere.
Lena pointed to a door in the corner. It looked similar to the one leading into the bomb shelter. There probably should be an exit, as you said.
Shall we go?
Let's rest for a moment.
Okay.
Lena sat next to me, very close, and took my hand. Ich finde das immer super gruselig, wenn die auf einmal näher kommen. So, ja, festgeswitcht. Ich weiß nicht, das sieht ja komisch aus.
It's alright.
Als tröstet sie uns. What do you mean?
That we haven't found Shurik.
We should think about getting out ourselves.
We get out.
Yes, I probably remember the way. Or at least I thought I remembered it.
I'm not afraid at all.
She suddenly said after a short pause. That's good.
Because I'm with you.
Oh. Suddenly there came a noise from behind the door to the mine. I jumped up at once and started looking for something I could use as a weapon. Sie ist wieder freudig überrascht. The noise of heavy footsteps was getting closer. Oh! Ey, ich dachte, wir haben seinen Halstuch gefunden. Was ist denn das hier? Finally, the door opened and Shurik appeared from behind it. In the silence, I froze, staring at him. Ja, ich hab's natürlich vergessen. There you are! Did you think you could hide from me? What? Did you think I wouldn't find you? But I did. He wasn't sane, that was for sure. His face was distorted with a scary grimace. His eyes gleamed behind his glasses. The missing pioneer held a metal rod in his hand. Are you mad? It's us. Yeah, I can see it's you. Ja, kommt schon wieder näher. He took a couple of steps towards us. I instinctively shielded Lena. Did you think you could make a fool of me, leading me here and there, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, and I followed. Whoa! He raised the metal rod. Everything after that was like it happened in slow motion. Shurik charging at us, me pushing Lena out of the way, the rod slowly arching towards my head. My hand was a flashlight going up. Following all of that, complete darkness, rapid breathing, blood hammering in my temples, silence, dreadful, heavy silence, merging with the darkness. I moved my hand, trying to find the wall, when I felt someone's touch.
Don't be afraid.
I heard a familiar voice neben mir. Sie ist bestimmt voll die Judo-Meisterin oder so. Why are you, you damn lunatic? I shouted.
He left.
Which way did he go? Where to? Lena's voice didn't sound too calm, but suddenly it didn't sound like it should be in such circumstances.
Calm down.
She hugged me tenderly and pressed her body against mine. I tried to gather my senses to recover my breath to attempt to adapt to the darkness. What should we do next?
You have a gun.
Well, who do I shoot?
It's loaded with a flare.
She might be right. I took the gun from my bed, pointed it to the side and fired. Wow. The room was illuminated by bright red light. The flare lying in the corner looked like a firework or a sparkler.
Let's go quickly. Let's go quickly. It won't burn for too long.
Where to? Lena pointed to the second door. It wasn't hard to open it, and we headed into the darkness. Ich könnte ja die Folge genau hier wieder beenden, so wie wir quasi angefangen haben. Aber ich glaube, wir machen noch ein bisschen weiter. The flare burned more dimly with every second. I stumbled with every step, even fell down a couple of times, but I didn't slow my pace. If it goes out... Finally, we saw light in front of us and came to a ladder, leading to a grating in the ceiling. The flare hissed and went out. Thank God. It turned out that we were right under the statue of Gender. The grating was rather sturdy, but we managed to open it after breaking the bolts with the flashlight. After reaching the surface, I collapsed on the grass, exhausted. That was terrible. Lena sat next to me. Just dreadful. By that time I didn't give a damn about this world, the camp, the 1400 bus, or my previous life. 410, true. The strangest and nastiest thing was that there were nothing supernatural in these events. Shurik just went crazy, insane. Nothing strange about it. I would have too in his position. Ja, weil du mal ein bisschen dich verläufst. Du bist gleich verrückt. Lena patted my head tenderly and smiled.
It's all over now.
I don't know. There's a crazy pioneer in the woods. You could even say a maniac killer.
I think he's gonna be alright.
Die weiß doch was, oder? Irgendwie... Wird mir immer suspekter. Alright? I'm not sure about that.
The most important thing is that we're okay.
She still smiled. How can you be so calm?
I told you before that I have nothing to be afraid of when I'm with you.
Indeed. I might have saved Lena and myself back there. But it was only by chance, nothing more. If Shurik had been swifter or crazier... Thanks for the compliment.
You're welcome.
Though we still should have stayed here in the first place.
You're probably right,
she said calmly. I got really sleepy. Because of the stress, the exhaustion of how late at night it was. We should go to sleep. But I'd have to stand up and walk to the leader's cabin. I wasn't ready for that. My eyes closed for just a moment. Stars looked down at me from the sky. Thousands of them, even millions. Now the light didn't seem to be so distant and cold. On the contrary, they winkled to me as if whispering among themselves, telling merry fairy tales and eager competition. About a galaxy far, far away, and violet, fluffy piglets, about mysterious asteroid belts where ships have disappeared, about a fearless starship captain and his brave crew, about exceptional treasures and unreachable peaks of a planet on the edge of the universe. I wonder, is that a dream? I lifted myself a little and realized that my head was on Lena's lap. Did I sleep long? I asked in confusion, but didn't rush to get up.
I don't know. I don't have a watch.
She laughed. Süß irgendwie. Approximately?
Well, maybe 20 minutes.
That's okay then. I lay down again, feeling nice and calm like never before. The events of the night were becoming distant, as if I was starting to forget them, like the story the stars were telling me.
Shurik has come back.
What? I jumped on my feet instantly.
There he is, sleeping on the bench.
Lena pointed to the benches in surprise. And what are you...
You were sleeping so peacefully that I didn't want to wake you up.
I felt a shiver of fear, because such behavior was not just strange, it was not just inappropriate, it scared me more than Shurik's insanity in the dungeon. Ja, und hat recht. Ausnahmsweise. A lunatic, who half an hour ago tried to kill us, arrives, lies on a nearby bench and falls asleep, and she just sits here?
Nothing to worry about. He just seemed a little bit off.
Oh, langsam habe ich Angst vor ihr. Lena got confused and blushed.
He walked unsteadily and didn't look towards us. And if I'd made a noise...
She was about to cry. Okay, don't worry. There was some logic to her words. She probably did the right thing. In any case, we had to interrogate Shurik thoroughly. I jumped up, walked quickly to the bench he was sleeping on, and slapped him.
Oh!
He woke up at once.
What the hell?
What are you doing, you bastard?
What?
Shurik stared at me with a scared and, moreover, sane look. What was that all about down there?
What? Where?
In the dungeon, in the mine, in the bomb shelter. Did you go completely nuts?
I don't understand you.
He looked around.
Why am I here?
And where should you be in your opinion? Oh wait, I know. You should be in an asylum.
I went to the old camp in the morning for the spare parts and then... Don't you remember anything after that?
Lena asked after walking up to us.
Yes, and I...
Don't pretend. I said calmly and sat next to him. It really looked like he wasn't lying though.
I don't understand anything. It's unscientific.
Who cares? Don't think that I trust you.
Memory loss can't occur just...
Shurik talked to himself, mumbling something, not paying us any attention.
Let's go,
Lena said quietly. Shall we just leave him here?
He's not in his right mind. He has to sleep.
It's dangerous to leave this Psycho alone. He may strangle electronic with an induction coil in the night.
It's going to be alright. Trust me.
Jetzt noch weniger. I had no reason not to trust her. Oh doch! However, I didn't have any reason to trust her either. On the other hand, who cares now? I wanted to fall asleep as quickly as possible. Okay. We let Shurik, who was still mumbling something to himself. An der Stelle machen wir erstmal einen Cut. Lina wird mir immer suspekter. Ich weiß nicht, die ist doch bestimmt der Mastermind hinter dieser ganzen Geschichte. Was meint ihr denn dazu? Das war's für dieses Mal von eurem Nerdmädchen.